We gotta talk. I feel like I'm gonna be sick. Life has changed a lot. Let's talk about it. So, when I last posted, last video I did, I said that I needed to just take a break, focus on me for a little bit. I was extremely depressed, overwhelmed, stressed out. We had just moved, we had moved from California. My husband was in the military, the Marines, and moved to South Carolina. He works on base here. And I left a good job that I really liked. I left we had to sell my truck. I had a 2007 Chevy Silverado blue that I had worked really hard to pay off. And I was really proud of that truck. I had to leave that, leave friends, leave routines. I had to leave the gym that taught me to fall in love with lifting. I left life, everything, to come to South Carolina because my husband, he applied for a civilian position here at the air station and left everything. My goal was to start a soap making business, a YouTube business. I went full throttle on it. I wanted it so bad. And then 2020 and COVID and everything, and the market just went and people couldn't afford a $5 to $6 bar of soap. And I couldn't afford to keep the price at $5 to $6 either, because the oil prices for soap and the fragrance prices for soap. Making soap became extremely expensive, and I personally felt really bad for charging people $10, $11, $12, $13 for a bar of soap. Although a lot of people are willing to spend that, I couldn't charge it. I just couldn't do it, even though the quality was worth it. But it's a bar of soap, and I couldn't charge that much, so I couldn't make enough in my business to sustain that as a full-time income. And I didn't know what I was gonna do. I am very much an independent person. I like to make my own income. And I wasn't. I was failing at what I was trying to do. I was failing at what I had tried so hard to do, and I put so many hours into making this a success, and it wasn't working out. My stress levels went through the roof because I'm home all day now by myself. I've got nothing to do but think. And sometimes that's bad, because when I have free time to think in a situation like that, that means I have free time to stress. I was stressed out, and my seizures reflected that, because I went from having one seizure a year, maybe, in California, to having 2 seizures a week at best. It was at the very least, it was 1 seizure a week for quite some time. I was looking at disability, not being able to drive the truck that I had just got, and I didn't know what to do. I still had student loans from getting my bachelor's degree in healthcare, and my world was crashing down. I didn't know. Everything I had known was gone. My routine was gone, my job was gone, my truck was gone, my gym was gone. And if you go to the gym and it's your lifestyle, you understand that's a place where you go to fix your problems. It's like therapy. I didn't have anyone to talk to except for this camera. I had to just figure things out on my own, and it was hard to just essentially start from scratch, especially when driving isn't an option. So it's not like I could have just applied for a job that's 30 minutes away or even 10 minutes away because I can't drive there. I'm having 2 seizures a week. We're going to the doctor, the neurologist. He's talking about brain scarring. I'm wondering about brain tumors. We're doing testing. I was diagnosed with ADHD because of the brain scarring, a sequela of epilepsy. There's just all these things going on in my head. And on top of that, there's all these things going on in my brain. My brain is just going like this. I can't stop having seizures and I'm terrified. And that's when I knew I just needed to take a step back from this and try to not stress. Because stress is a huge seizure trigger for me. It's probably the main one. It just felt like I was at a dead end, but there was no way to turn around. It's like I needed a car to turn around and I'm not allowed to drive right now. I had to pause it for a second. It was a really hard time. I was devastated. I was so disappointed in myself. I put a lot of pressure on myself to take advantage of the opportunities that life will give you and make the most of them. And I just found myself in a place where I couldn't figure out how to take advantage of any opportunity. And I was really disappointed in myself. I was really down and really depressed and just in a hole. I think for me, that's a good way to just describe how depression felt for me. It was just like I was in a hole looking up. And I know there's a light up there. I know there's happiness up there. I just can't figure out how to get up there. Because I'm just in this hole and it's dark and I'm all by myself and no one sees me down here. And I don't know what to do. We ended up leaving the apartment that we were in, moving to the house that we're in now, which we're still renting it, but we have 3 large dogs and we needed more than an apartment. So we're renting this house now until the housing market kind of like, I don't know, stops being terrible. A lot to unpack that has happened. There's just been a lot bad, a lot good, but a lot bad. I'll briefly get into some of the bad stuff. I do think it will have to be its own little entity, its own little video, mostly because right now I'm not mentally stable enough to talk about it. Damn it, this is hard. Y'all saw my dog, Kujo, the little gray one, not so little pit bull mix. This is one of the big life events that has happened that is very bad, and I'm sure you can figure out where this is heading. He developed a eye droop. His eye just started going like this. We didn't know what it was. He had never had that before. We didn't think too much of it at first because he wasn't like scratching at it. His eye just kind of went like this. When we took him to the vet, thinking very little of this, probably not a big deal, just a weird thing his eye is doing. He said that Kujo had an arrhythmia. There is no cure. Absolutely nothing that can be done about it. He said it can take him out on your way home. It could take him out next week. It can take him out 3 months from now, or it can just heal up on its own. There's no telling. Because at some point, if it doesn't heal up on its own, his heart will just stop. And that is exactly what it did. Almost exactly 3 weeks after that appointment, Kujo's still acting totally fine. we were making dinner in the kitchen. The kitchen's over that way and the living room is that way. We were bringing our dinner into the living room, and my husband walks into the living room and he says, "Oh no, we have a problem." So hard. And he's just laying there. His heart had stopped at some point while he was standing in the living room, and he fell over. And we hadn't heard it because we were in the kitchen cooking, stove on, making noise, and he was just gone. And that day was devastating because we hadn't been home much that day. We hadn't spent much time with him. So we didn't know it was his last day. And he was just gone. And it was terrible. That was November 21st. So 5 days before Thanksgiving of 2024. And then 1 week and 6 days later, my husband, Roger, he's on his way to work. He finds a stray. I am in no mood. I am in no mental shape. My heart is completely shattered for a stray. But this stray is sick. He is covered in fleas. He is extremely emaciated. He needs help. We call every shelter, completely full. We call all of our friends trying to see if they want him. They don't. By this time, after we've made bunches of calls, it had been a couple days, he was staying at our house. No one wanted him. Turns out he was completely packed with hookworms and also heartworms. And we couldn't find anyone who wanted a sick dog. Shocker, right? I was in a position where I didn't know if I would ever want another dog ever again, because this was the first dog I had ever had that had died. And I was thinking, I don't ever want to go through this again. This hurts so bad. I can't stand to do this again. But that dog needed help. I couldn't just not help him. And he's still here. His name is Murray. You will meet him at some point. He is right there. He is absolutely glued to my side every moment of the day. And I will say he's kind of become my little buddy. He has taught me that sometimes God gives you what you need and not what you want, because Murray is very stupid, but very happy. And right now, I need something that is just stupid happy. Because more news, my dog Kai, and this is going to be really hard to talk about, in February, so Kujo was November, end of November, February, I was doing a dental on Kai, cleaning her teeth up. I found a little mass at the back of her mouth. It was tiny. I didn't think too much of it, but of course, I take her, she's 14, I take her to the vet. He looks at it. He's obviously like, we need to get this out, get this biopsied and see what it is. So that is what we do. It came back as cancer. And this will be a whole nother video, because this is extremely hard to talk about. There is nothing we can do about her cancer. She's now had it for about 6 months, and no matter what interventions we tried, what interventions we looked into, we can't stop it. She is getting very, 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 within weeks or days of very close to her, to the end of her battle with cancer. There's nothing we can do about it, and it is beginning to make her uncomfortable, and it's getting to the point where it's not fair to keep thinking that this will get any better. So I will be facing her very last vet appointment very soon. And I'm not ready for that. She's an extremely important dog to me for reasons that I may or may not ever tell this channel. It's very, very personal reasons, but let's just say she came into my life at 18 and I wouldn't be here if it weren't for her. She came into my life at a very hard point and she saved it. And now I'm 33. She's closing in on 15, and it's just that time where we're gonna have to say goodbye now. It's time, and it's the right thing to do, but that doesn't make it any less devastating. But that will be happening soon. Editing Shelby here. As I'm editing this video, I think I'm gonna end it here. One, it's getting a little too long, and two, I think my first video back should be rightly dedicated more towards Kai. She is gone now. It's been so I'm gonna end this here, and there will be, I'll make this into a 2-part video. So this part is more along the lines of the bad that's been happening. The next video will be happier, new job. We actually do have another new addition to the pet family, mostly unwanted, but another one that just needed a home. And just other life updates that are a little more positive, and one that's not as positive and likely potentially devastating. We're at the beginning of that life update. Don't know how that one's going to end. But I am going to end it here. If you've made it this far, thank you for listening to a little bit of what has been my story over the past couple of years. There is more to come. There's more to tell if you're even remotely interested. This is my Squirtle. My husband got him for me because after we put Kai down, for some reason he thought I might need something to hold on to right now, and he was right. So stay tuned for the next video. I hope y'all are having a lovely day, a lovely night if that's when you're watching this. Give your pets a squeeze and just appreciate the time that you have with them, because it goes by quick. I love you guys, and if you would like, please like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye, y'all. Into nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. I let my guard down, and you pulled the rug. I was getting kinda used to being someone you loved. I'm going under, and I feel this time there's no one to turn to. This all or nothing way of loving got me sleeping without you. Now I need somebody to know, somebody to heal, somebody to have, just to know how it feels. It's easy to say, but it's never the same. I guess I kinda like the way you help me escape. And now the day bleeds into nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. If I would've known that you wouldn't be here anymore, I would've made the moment
moments last a little longer. 'Cause now I'm alone, and you're just a memory in my mind. I would have given anything to say goodbye. If I would have known